In the top stories, QEH doctors treating emergency cases only. Lime reverses its decision to charge customers for printed bills. And Barbados gets its 4th CAC medal. Welcome to Nation News for Friday, November 28, 2014. I'm Natasha Beckles.
No matter where you are in the world, at home or abroad, Nation News keeps you connected with what's happening in Barbados through our website, video newscast, and online e-papers. So stay connected with Nation News. Your news, your time, your way.
As of Friday, the Queen Elizabeth Hospital will be treating only emergency cases involving very ill patients due to a shortage of basic supplies. This was revealed by the Barbados Association of Medical Practitioners, or BAMP, following an emergency meeting which also included the Junior Doctors Association. BAMP Public Relations Officer Dr. Linda Williams says some of the items in short supply include alcohol, sterile gloves, IV fluids, and some inexpensive medications used to treat children, pregnant women, and the elderly. She called on government to address the issue as a matter of urgency.
We have discovered that not only is there a problem with the supply chain, the result of debt owed to suppliers who have closed their accounts with the QEH, but also with the governance of supplies and accountability for ordering. This is therefore a crisis of the highest order, and we are moved to state that patient and physician safety at the QEH is at risk. We call upon the government of Barbados to state unequivocally to the people of Barbados how they plan to fund the QEH in the short, medium, and long term, and to explain the measures they will take to restore the broken supply chain. We are also calling on this government to provide good governance and accountability for the management of the provision of supplies at the QEH. We suggest that a modern inventory system that monitors the usage of supplies from month to month be established immediately.
The doctors also called for an urgent change in the governance of the QEH, saying they have lost confidence in current management. QEH CEO Dr. Dexter James called the action premature. Minister of Industry Donville Inniss has chastised government workers who he says are frustrating potential investors with their tardiness. Addressing the opening of Standard Distributors' flagship store at MQI Complex in Wildy, he said they should be more welcoming since investors did not have to come to Barbados.
An entity like Macau, who wishes to expand their tri-market investment in Barbados, have applications before government departments. Then the public officers tasked with dealing with those applications should not go home on evenings unless they are finished. And this silliness of one department in government sitting for weeks and weeks before passing a file on to another department needs to come to a screeching halt. People have options. They do not have to invest in Barbados. But where they make that commitment to invest in this fair land, from my end, we must act with a sense of urgency without diluting our professionalism to ensure that all such investments are treated expeditiously. If you believe the answer is no, it is best to give a man that no answer up front or early on than to string them along weeks and weeks and months waiting.
Earlier, President and CEO of Macau Barbados Limited, Nicholas Moutet, appealed to the authorities to facilitate the conglomerate's investments.
You may have heard previously me discuss a new tri-mark store, and the intention was that it would all be in place by Christmas. As I said, over $10 million investment, 100 new jobs. And while today we're here to celebrate part of that plan, the opening of Standards, unfortunately, we have not been able to progress the tri-mart investment. It's still our intention to do so. The approval process for getting to that point has been a lot more challenging than we had anticipated. I'm not in a position as a result to talk about when that will happen. We would like it to happen as soon as possible because we are anxious to reinvest not only in tri-mart but in all of our businesses. And I would encourage the powers that be to work with us, to help us invest in Barbados, to create jobs, to bring in foreign exchange. All these things that we talk about needing for Barbados, I would really encourage the authorities to work hand in hand with us to allow these things to happen because we are committed to do so as soon as possible.
Telecommunications company Lime has had a change of heart about imposing a fee on customers who want to receive printed bills. Caribbean CEO Martin Roos says consumers who opt for electronic bills will now be rewarded, while those who prefer a paper invoice will not be penalized. Lime had announced that from January 1st, 2015, customers would have to pay $4.68 to receive their bills. Many customers spoke out against the decision, and Lime says it took that into consideration. The Diabetes Association of Barbados is concerned about the rise of diabetes among Barbadian teenagers. Vice Chair of the Southern Region, Flo Bissett-Goddard, said many teenagers were overweight or obese and living a sedentary lifestyle. She said the association will be ramping up its awareness efforts in schools.
The Association of Barbados has an awareness campaign that for 2015, we're going to go at it a lot more rigorous going into the schools. And we're going to be meeting with the people from the PTAs, we're going to be meeting with the people that do the thing at the canteen, we're going to be meeting with the vendors outside, we're going to be meeting with the kids themselves and their parents, because we really want the public of Barbados to be aware that diabetes is not a condition that you play with.
Mrs. Bissett-Goddard was speaking at the association's open day on Thursday. Some farmers could soon be working more closely with the schools in their communities. This was revealed this week by CEO of the Barbados Agricultural Society, James Paul, during the official launch of AgriFest.
So one of the things that we'll be looking forward to seeing is that, for instance, a farmer such as Mr. Barry Bishop, who is in St. Philip and who is a known prize winner at AgriFest every year, we'll be expecting him to help, for instance, schools who are located within his immediate environment of St. Philip, and we're trying to prepare farmers in that way, because one of the things that we think we need to emphasize is that we need to show people that farmers themselves, okay, who they are and how they actually assist people in the community, because sometimes, you know, when we look at this commercial world, people think that food comes from a supermarket shelf, but we do not understand the responsibility that ordinary people like us have in terms of producing that particular food, and that is an initiative we'll be doing as we go forward to AgriFest this year.
AgriFest will run from February 27th to March 1st. In sport, Greg Marswith won Barbados' third medal on the track at the Central American and Caribbean Games on Friday. He placed third in the men's 110 meters hurdles in 13.59 seconds in Veracruz, Mexico. Overall, the medal tally stands at 4. 1 silver by Levi Cadogan in the men's 100 meters, bronze by Carrie Beckles in the women's 100 meter hurdles, and bronze by the mixed squash pair of Karen Meekins and Gavin Cumberbatch. And finally, the story of how one person's trash turned out to be a national treasure. Back in 2002, a farmer in the United Kingdom dug up a large bronze object that looked like a bent sword. He used it as a doorstop for 12 years before deciding to throw it away. That's when friends told him it could be valuable and he should have it identified. It turned out to be a 27-inch ceremonial dagger that experts believe is about 3,500 years old. It was bought for $65,000 and is now on display in Norwich Castle Museum. And that's Nation News for Friday. For more, log on to nationnews.com, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and pick up your papers at newsstands over the weekend.